One of the things that's really interesting about home is how different objects become very almost sacred or even really sacred that are very, very simple and plain. Now, when we go through different homes and things, there are people who redecorate every year. There are people who like the refreshment of different artwork and things like that. It's really nice to be seasonal. I'm very seasonal, and people always talk about how harmful it is to celebrate holidays. And a lot of the things that I do will actually be rotated through the season. For instance, if you do decorations of, we'll just start with October. You know, you paint your pumpkin. That pumpkin will age into being the pumpkin nuts that you are able to eat later on. Then you also have the pie pumpkins on the table that then become the Thanksgiving dinner, which also become the hand pies for the rest of the winter season. Just keep adding to that. Imagine a whole table full of black doggy Alice. This home like that too, okay? But anyway, imagine a whole bunch of black Arkansas apples and a whole bunch of. They have to be in storage, and when they go through storage, they get really, really sweet. Before that, they're rock hard and they're not that good to eat. But these things that people simulate, you can go to a store and buy a fake apple, or you can actually use your actual storage to go ahead and decorate. These types of things don't just provide grace and beauty, they also provide a focus to actually eating properly and also celebrating and appreciating what we have. One of the things that we also do is collect really important items. I like those kitchens where everything is something people use. So there's not too many things, there's not too little things, but everything from very specialized to very, very bare may happen. Um, One of the more interesting things art wise that goes along with this is we are able to have a sincere appreciation of where we are when we go ahead and see these items. So when I do go ahead and collect for the Hoff, it is not just really high-end artwork, which is also available. It is not just rooted artwork. It is not just things that are able to be rented or rotated or able to go ahead and be appreciated at a much higher level than you would normally be able to access. It is also things of a gentle nature to be able to go ahead and actually create that beautiful movie like set that is unique and perfect to you and your usage. So that eliminates waste. It also eliminates the clutter of time, and it also eliminates the unartistic feeling of a lot of homes when you walk in and everything seems prepackaged and styrofoam and all those different types of things. So as I go ahead and look toward the next year, we're down about 9 to 10 months and counting. Be looking for all the people around you who don't just make very, very interesting, useful items or objects of art that are useful as well as beautiful, but also think of the ones that do it in the rooted way. For instance, you can go ahead and make wood spoons, but if someone is making them from the work they do to go ahead and actually take care of trees, or the work they do as a sincere orchardist or something like that, is going to have a lot more weight and a lot more story than someone who just orders blanks. So there is a rhyme and reason for why I go ahead and look and search out and pick what I want, but it's also not something that's limited by price. It's a really refreshing feeling to be able to walk into somewhere and be inspired, whether you're a billionaire or someone just starting out or someone who chooses to keep it simple. I want everybody to feel like they're at home, but at the same time also feeling like they're walking into a magic world. I think that's a very unique North Carolina take on how to live, and that is the PJ review so far for where I am with the Hoff. And it will be in the Asheville area. Also look at other locations out west as well, because there is a different feel and a different vibe and a different set of needs in different places that also distills into a very streamlined and clutter-free appreciation of art at all levels. So stay tuned, and there'll be more information. Also look a little few months down the road, a few things down the road, you'll actually see me in my makeup looking very beautiful. So there's a lot of different looks and feels and comfortable vibes for what I'm doing. You don't really have to go ahead and perform, and you don't have to not perform. And that's something that people need to go ahead and be a little bit more comfortable with here in the Western North Carolina area. It's easy to have factions, and it's easy to go ahead and say, I don't have to be nice to you. You know, you do in my home. So that would be something that everybody can be guaranteed to have a good day. And that is part of the healing of our country. That's also part of the strength of our country. So, hello world. Get ready for the Hoff, okay? You forgot some way to edit these.